Welcome back, guys. I'm Jason, and this is 5 Minute Friday. There's very few things that get me excited in life like electrical gadgets. And I guess that's why I like the overland life, because it smashes together tech, gear, and the outdoors in this beautiful attempt to try to organize everything necessary to live on the road. And SwitchPro does a really good job of bringing the Switch system into the touchscreen age while still maintaining that tactile feel of turning your accessories off and on. There's a lot of reasons why we went with the SwitchPro 9100 over some of the other options out there, not the least of which is the solid state setup. Now, this is a 125 amp solid state power module, which means no more relays, no more fuses, no more tricky wiring, and no more spending hours trying to troubleshoot issues with bad accessories. This is about as simple of an install as you can get. And when it comes to reliability and performance, there really is nothing that compares to a solid state system. SwitchPro is the only solid state system on the market as far as we know, and it actually happens to be one of the smallest in size as well. While the form factor is small, this thing has more functionality than my Leatherman. In fact, there's not a whole lot this thing can't do. Like all modern accessories, the 9100 is equipped with a Bluetooth app that can control switches, change your settings, and even read your battery voltage. I'll be honest, at first I thought app-controlled switches were just going to be a cool gimmick, but it turns out they're a pretty handy feature to have. Gone are the days where I'm running through camp in the dark, tripping over camp chairs trying to get back to the tent. Now I can do everything from the comfort of my warm sleeping bag. And I don't have to guess at what's rummaging through the chips I left out. Now I can flip the lights on and see whether it's Kobe with the munchies or Yogi Bear digging through my food. Another handy use is when connected to your compressor, you can turn it off and on while standing at the tire rather than running back and forth to check the pressure. And our favorite has to be the fact that you can dim the lights, making all those LEDs on the truck usable for campsites. Okay, so let's talk about the specs. As I mentioned before, it's solid state, waterproof, has a 125 amp max output. There's 8 circuits, and you can daisy chain the switch panels so you can control your accessories from multiple locations. This is actually what we're going to do with our trailer, so we can control everything from either inside or in the back galley. There's over 100 different switch labels, so more than likely there's something to match your accessory, and it'll strobe, flash, and dim like we mentioned before. And there's 2 external triggers that you can program to, say, turn your rock lights on when you open your doors, or have your light bar come on with your high beams. The switches themselves are programmable for momentary or on-off, and it has a low voltage shutdown to protect your battery. So there's lots more stuff that this thing can do, but that gives you a pretty good idea of how solid of a switch system this is. In fact, the only issue I have with it is the app. It's functional but very utilitarian, and in my opinion could use an update. Okay, let's talk about what we have on our switches and how our system is set up. Now, the reason why we landed on these types of systems over just adding traditional switches was real estate for placement in the GX was very slim, and in contrast to the outside, I wanted the inside to feel relatively stock and uncluttered. Expedition Essentials made a bracket to house the SwitchPro and the sunglass holder, which was pretty much unused anyways, and it gives me the ability to hide the switches completely. We made a mounting bracket for our electrical controllers on the same side as our auxiliary battery to minimize wiring and keep everything separate from the main system. So 6 out of the 8 switches are auxiliary lights, controlling our light bar, ditch and fog lights, rack and rock lights, and our RGB warning lights on the bat wing. The other 2 switches control our compressor, as I mentioned before, and our WeBoost cell booster, which is slowly becoming one of our favorite accessories for staying connected. So as I mentioned before, other than the app, there's not really much negative to report on this system. In fact, the decision to put it on our trailer was made after we experienced how solid this thing is. So in my opinion, there really is no question as to which system is best. The SwitchPro 9100 really raises the bar on what's possible for a Switch system, but do your own research, and if you found something better, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next time on 5 Minute Friday. Peace!